No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking the cupcakes. Ooh, savage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Hey, question. Does anyone know what a savage actually is? Okay, according to Google, it can either mean fierce, violent, and uncontrolled, or it could mean a member of a people regarding as primitive and uncivilized, or an attack. The Doctor Who story, The Savages, and judging by what the cover is, feeling that I know exactly what it's going to be once I just put it in my trusty DVD player. Oh shit, I forgot I was watching The Big Bang Theory. If you want me to do a video on that, you can just leave a comment down below, by the way. I'm always free for recommendations. And then get that disc in there. Yep, just as I expected, it's a loose cannon reconstruction. Yet again. Who the heck are these guys? Okay, who's going to be giving us the chat today? Oh, it's the actor who plays Steven again. That's nice. Oh, what? Wait, what? Spoilers, man. Jeez.
The TARDIS materializes in a rocky ravine on a distant planet. Excited, the Doctor proclaims that for once he knows exactly where they are. He informs his companions that they've arrived at an age of great peace and prosperity. However, as they soon discover, things are not quite how they seem.
Dun dun dun! Here we go. I'm waiting. There we go. Unfortunately for the Savages, all 4 episodes were missing. However, it was the first story since the Crusades to be missing yet still have telesnaps, pictures from the actual story. Loose Cannon did the pictures for the previous stories by, you know, like, photoshopping stuff and taking, like, pictures from, like, on stage and stuff like that and inserting them into clips, or taking pictures from the surviving episodes and such and just putting them in there. This is the first story where we stop having individual titles for each episode and we just start saying episode 1 and episode 2. So, like, technically, back in the 60s, technically all the viewers could have thought that every single episode was an individual one-parter since it had its own individual title. This is the first one where it goes to the Savages episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and it does the same for the next one, the War Machines 1, 2, 3, 4, Smugglers 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll keep on doing that up until Invasion of the Dinosaurs, where they'll give episode 1 an individual title and then not again until the show's revival in 2005. So the story picks up where the gunfighters left off, where they land on an alien planet and a guy with a whole bunch of weapons comes up. Or is it an alien planet? Yeah, it is. It's the Roboman from the Dalek Invasion of Earth. No, it's not the Roboman from the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Oh, well, it looks like it. Besides these captions that roll across the screen, we're probably not going to see any signs of movement. Whoa! Never mind, I guess Loose Cannon does do animations from time to time. And that's a pretty crappy picture right there. What the frick was that? Boo! Kinda reminds me of, do you remember that Ice Age short, No Time for Nuts? Should be like on the Ice Age 2 DVD or something, where Scrat is just being chased by arrows as he runs for his frickin' life. Whoa, there's another movement too. They got smoke and stuff. Feel bad for this guy. This actor doesn't look like he's having much fun doing this. Doesn't look like he's happy. So, the story basically goes that the Doctor, Steven, and Dodo has landed on a supposedly future good planet and stuff like that, where the civilizations are green and stuff like that. There are those guys with the smoke that can freeze people of anyone who stands in it because science and stuff. And the cliffhanger for episode 1 is basically kind of creepy, actually, I guess. I'm interested to see what it would have looked like in the actual episode rather than a reconstruction of because apparently Dodo walks into a narrow hallway and she sees on the other end just like a guy just like slumbering towards her like a zombie. But of course in the reconstruction we just see like pictures of Dodo looking like this and the picture of the guy going like this and stuff like that. However, the guy just walks straight past Dodo as if she wasn't even there.
Yeah, not even Dodo would be as stupid as that.
Oppose you? Indeed, I am going to oppose you. Just in the same way that I oppose the Daleks or any other menace to common humanity.
It's not that often that we hear a reference to a Dalek in a story that has nothing to do with the Daleks. I think that we heard it in the Ark once, but I'm not sure anywhere else. So as it turns out, the guys isn't a total planet of good stuff and they're actually doing very bad experiments on other people. And the cliffhanger for episode 2 is when they start to do one on the Doctor. This feels kind of off to me, like the light around the fire is moving, but the fire itself isn't moving. You know what I'm talking about, right? I must say though, Loose Cannon's doing a pretty good job at adding movement to the reconstruction. I wonder how they do that. Do they do some sort of animation, or do they just, like for here, are they just like taking a telesnap and then just filming it with their camera and just blowing smoke in front of the screen? Yeah, probably not. I wonder. An interesting thing happens in episode 3, which is when the Doctor's personality gets sucked out of him and put into another guy. I always find that weird, like in those stories where like the synopsis says like, and the two guys switch personalities, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting, and I watch it and it's just, they switch their brains, and I'm like, oh, well, that happens in every TV show. But, it's not like, you know, like, the actual brains and memories going, it's not like switching bodies, it's like switching personalities. Except this time they're not really switching personalities, the Doctor's personality gets sucked out of him and the Doctor's just like a lump of no essence. And the other guy is, has both of his own and the Doctor's personality. He actually needs to stop himself from, destroying some of the equipment, because the Doctor wants to destroy some of the equipment, and the guy who has some of the Doctor's personality, who still is his original self, but now he has the personality of the Doctor as well. And he's like, why did I almost destroy that? That's weird. The cliffhanger for the episode is when the hallway gets filled with smoke, and and the Doctor's not really responding or anything. Now, actually, the BBC managed to track down some clips from episode 4, so we do actually get some movement for this one. Not much, though. Loose Cannon used these clips in the Mythmakers as well. They played that clip backwards to show Stephen getting up. With the help of the guy with the Doctor's personality, they get to just stop this whole thing and just go crazy a bit, like a bunch of people. I don't know. And for some reason we have this 1 second scene right here of him turning. So what happens is then all the guys are just like, well, now we need to start actually becoming a good planet. And then they decide, Steven, hey, why don't you stay with us? And then Steven stays with them. And that's that. He's left the show now. That isn't a joke. Like, he just leaves very abruptly, like with zero warning. But luckily though, we have several clips of Steven leaving, of him saying like, all right then, I will stay. And the Doctor shaking his hand goodbye, and Stephen looking towards them and leaving, and Dodo hugging the Doctor and asking if they'll ever see him again, and the Doctor's like, oh, I don't know, we'll travel through space and time at random, maybe we will. Like that, so yeah. Apparently, what the guy said, Peter Purvis, the guy who plays Steven, said in the intro for this reconstruction, he said that apparently the BBC had come up with the idea that no companion should stay for more than a year for some reason, and Steven's 1 year was up. So he just found out, and apparently, most of the companions, just found out at random. Apparently, Vicky didn't even know that she was going to leave until she read the script and saw that she left. So if she didn't need to read the script, then who knows when she would have found out. The guy who plays Steven says that he wanted a Doctor Who story to be made where the Doctor returns to this planet shortly after Steven took over, and it turns out that Steven just like ruined everything and destroyed everything again. Back to the future! Okay, never mind, I'm not doing that. So, yeah, so that was Doctor Who The Savages, and many people have said that they didn't really like this story because apparently nothing really happens in it. Well, I thought that the Doctor's personality going into the guy was kind of interesting, and it's a story where Steven leaves, so you can't really say that nothing happens, but I guess they kind of mean that, you know, the idea is kind of dull. They pretty much, the guy who wrote it must have had literally one idea, and they just stretched it into a 4-parter somehow. But that just goes to show that anything's possible. I hate people who say that stuff is impossible. Like Cars. Like, think of how impossible you would have think cars were 100 years ago. The ability to just go such great distances with little effort, the telephone, the light bulb, and yet they were proven possible, and yet you say that stuff is impossible and stuff. Yeah, so, and yeah, so Donald Trump became president. They stretched this idea into like an hour and 40-minute long episode. So yeah, so would I recommend it? Nah, not really. It is kind of boring. But anyway, yeah, that so that story. But yeah, Steven's gone. Jeez, he was a good companion. I missed the era with Barbara and Ian already. So, I guess that's it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, because I know that you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, please leave a dislike, because I know you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below if you liked it. Tell me why, because it feels often get some motivation and encouragement. If you didn't like it, please leave a comment down below saying why you didn't like it, so that I can improve for next time. Otherwise, I won't be able to improve. I'm just going to treat your dislike as if it were a like. And subscribe so that you know when my next video comes out. Thanks again so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time, where I review story number... Oh, it's been a while since I did that. What story are we even on? 26. So I'll see you next time with story number 27. This is weird because on my camera my left hand is on the right and my right hand's on the left side. Never mind, you want to... Okay. The War Machine. See you next time. Bye.